By all accounts, Lamine Yamal is an unstoppable force. On the pitch, he is a blur of elite footwork, effortlessly tearing through professional defensive lines while the entire world sits and watches. But when you actually point a vlog camera at him to document 24 hours of his life, the glamour evaporates immediately. His day starts with him refusing to wake up, groggy and audibly complaining that he isn't allowed to eat breakfast because he has to take a fasting glucose test. He is carrying the weight of a nation's footballing hopes, yet his own friends ruthlessly mock him for even holding a vlog camera, asking out loud why anyone would ever want to film a day with him. It raises an interesting question. How exactly does a 16-year-old phenom balance the crushing reality of global fame with the mundane routines of normal teenage life? Following him hour by hour reveals a strange friction between his public status and his private behavior. As he moves from the stadium to the street, he seems almost entirely disinterested in his own celebrity. The physical toll of his job hits before breakfast. He goes straight from morning blood work to intense training sessions, casually mentioning on the drive home that he got scraped and cut up on the grass. And when training ends, the second shift begins. While most teenagers would head home to relax, Yamal heads directly to a sterile McDonald's commercial shoot, enduring another 3 to 5 hours of repetitive corporate obligations. This chart shows the proportional breakdown of a teenager's day. If you look at the blue section representing average leisure time and compare it to Yamal's schedule, you see his hours are almost entirely swallowed by mandatory physical training and heavy corporate brand shoots. He is constantly bouncing between two entirely different realities. There is the highly polished, strictly scheduled corporate machine of European football, and then there is the authentic, unfiltered street culture he actually comes from. Living off the pitch as a young superstar is primarily an endurance test of tight schedules and brand demands. Surviving that kind of pressure requires a very specific coping mechanism. For Yamal, that coping mechanism takes the form of his childhood friends, Moha and Sohab. He brings them along to constant, chaotic presence as a shield against the corporate stiffness. Instead of sitting quietly while cameras are set up, they pass the time spitting their neighborhood Rockafonda street anthem in broken English, yelling into the camera that they're going to take people down. They spend their downtime bickering over entirely random things, accusing each other of lying about eating mangoes, or fiercely debating the mid-season performance of players like Jeremy Doku. The ultimate collision of these two worlds happened during a recent, highly produced commercial shoot for Adidas. Surrounded by high-end cameras and professional lighting, Yamal completely ignored the magnitude of the production. He was entirely focused on asking the crew if he could take the set's prop fish home in a plastic bag. He secured the bag, brought them home, and proudly named the fish Freddy and Sohaib. By treating a massive brand campaign like a trip to the local pet store, he strips away the intimidating aura of his own life. Injecting pure, unfiltered teenage goofiness into these high-stakes environments keeps him firmly anchored to reality. You would expect a guy with world-class footwork to have impeccable physical coordination, yet when he tries to ride a non-standard bicycle during his evening downtime, he wobbles uncontrollably and gets his pants caught in the chain. When his friends mock him for his terrible cycling skills, he brushes them off, loudly defending himself by stating he learned to ride a bike back in Morocco. As his friend accurately points out, it is a very good thing his talent translates to grass and a football, because his balance on a bike is a total disaster. Watching one of the most agile athletes in the world struggle to pedal in a straight line proves that the superstar persona is only one small part of his reality. At the end of his grueling schedule, there is no massive VIP party. He ends his 24 hours exactly like millions of other kids, eating a quiet dinner and watching reruns of an old Spanish sitcom, Aquí no hay quien viva, before finally going to sleep. It is an incredibly mundane evening for a teenager who regularly experiences absolute physical exhaustion, playing high-stakes, stressful matches, like his brutal Nations League game against Portugal. The kid quietly eating dinner and watching sitcoms is the exact same player who recently orchestrated a 4-3 victory over Real Madrid, casually dropping an outside-of-the-foot pass to Rafinha. This commitment to the mundane acts as a psychological pressure valve. By prioritizing sitcoms and his childhood friends over the spectacle of his career, Yamal survives the expectations of millions without losing his sense of self. He remains perfectly self-aware through it all. Signing off for the night, he stares into the lens and demands 5 million likes if people want a sequel. As he puts it, filming his life is expensive.